Hey to all my book lovers and fellow book dragons. If you're new here, hi. Sorry, I kind of went blank because the elephant in the room, we are outside.
What?
If you're new here, hi, my name is Meredith and welcome to my channel. On today's video, we are doing my first official summer reading vlog. I'm super excited to share this with you guys. I've been working long and hard all summer to get this done. The sun is shining. Look how bright it is. I just thought being outside with it 90 degrees where I am at, thought it would be fitting to start out my reading vlog outside. And plus my kids are inside screaming. They're so ready for school. So as I'm recording this, we are days away from going back to school. I have officially finished reading all my summer beach reads. It was a really fun summer. It was a really good reading summer for beach reads, and I look forward to sharing all these with you. I'm going to pop up on the screen here the order that I thought the books I was going to rate them as, and then I'm going to pop up also what they ended up being rated as. So had some really good fun reads, a little bit of some disappointments, and then some exciting happy surprises. So I hope that you stick around and you'll listen and watch everything that we talk about. And it's also really interesting to watch because when I started this reading vlog, which I've only been doing this for 2 months now. So when I started this reading vlog, I was really awkward with the camera, and I'm still awkward. I might always be awkward, who knows. But when I first started, I was definitely awkward, and so oh look, my dog decided to say hi. It was definitely awkward, and it's kind of awkward watching poor past self try to do some of the reading vlogs, but it's also cool watching myself learn and grow as I continue to do this YouTube channel. So I'm really excited to share this with you guys. I hope that y'all enjoy it, and I am excited to continue doing reading vlogs and to get better as we go. So without further ado, enjoy this reading vlog for the past 2 months, and now I'm just so ready for fall. So let's get all the summer vibes out and walk into fall super excited and pumpkin spice and everything nice ready. Hey guys, so to start off with my reading vlog, we're going to start reading The Night We Met by Abby Jimenez. I'm super excited to get into this book, and I'll update y'all as soon as I have something to update you with. Alright guys, so quick update. I'm at the gym, but this is like the only time that I could talk to y'all and it be quiet and not chaos at my house. So I have started The Night We Met, and I'm only on chapter 4 or 5, and about 30 pages in. I feel like I'm gonna like this book. So far so good. It looks like it's gonna be a cute little beach read. Not much to really say yet. I don't really have that many feelings. I'm going to try to read some tonight, and hopefully I'll get a big chunk done while everybody's asleep, because that's when I have time to read. And I'll update y'all some more then. All right guys, so I finished The Night We Met by Abby Jimenez. I have so many things, so many opinions about this book. So I rated this book 3.5 stars. Hear me out. I was going to rate
this book 3 stars. And then I read the author's note at the back of the book, and it made me rate it 3.5. I had fun with this book, and I just feel so bad because I don't want to give a harsh review to a book when an author put their heart and their soul into something, and someone somewhere absolutely loves this book. And this is my first Abby Jimenez book, so I don't really want to harshly rate her as an author because I might end up loving something else. Like I said, this book wasn't awful. It didn't give me any cringe or feelings of hatred, but for one, the cover is definitely misleading. Like, this gave me like 4th of July vibes, sitting at the lake, summer vacation trips. Now they did do a cabin trip, I think twice in this book, but this was definitely not like a summery beach vibes kind of book. I wouldn't even consider this. There's no spice. Now that does not bother me. I can eat up a book and there being 0 spice. The quality of the book, the plot, the storyline, all of that was fantastic. The writing was great. So spice level, I am not even scoring this a 3.5 because of the spice. I'm scoring this book a 3.5 because I couldn't stand the characters in this book. Like, let me just give you this video is going to have spoilers in it. So that's all I can say. I want to tell you details and explain to you why this book was rated what I rated it. So the plot. We are following our FMC Larissa and our MMC Chris. But Chris is not Larissa's boyfriend. Larissa's boyfriend is Mike, Chris's best friend. What? So there's like a love triangle. You got Mike, who is Larissa's boyfriend, and Chris, which is Mike's best friend. We're all dealing with their friendships, their lives, their outside friends, all of that within like a year time frame. So Larissa meets Mike at a concert, Mike and Chris, and she gets to choose which guy she's going to go home with. Well, she chooses to go home with Mike, and long story short, her and Mike they start dating. When I read the synopsis of this book, the concept that I thought was going to happen, I thought there was going to be longing. I thought there was going to be desperation, I guess, and like forbidden love. And I really don't feel like as a reader, I got that. I got self-loathing. I got like obnoxious, like these characters were supposed to be, I think she was supposed to be 27, Chris is 29, and Mike is 30. I'm 30 years old. I felt like I was dealing with teenagers in this book the entire time. Larissa is dating Mike. Let's just talk about, she never has strong feelings for him. She's living with her mom. She's got bad credit because her dad was an addict and went and stole her social security number, and sob story, because we all got to have a sob story, which I'm not saying that that's wrong. I'm just saying that there has to be some kind of issue going on that needs to be resolved in a book, in a story, in a plot. And so her issue is she has all this credit racked up. She can't live on her own. So she's living with her mom. I can't stand her mom. Her mom is red flags all the way. Such bad parenting, obnoxiousness. The only character that I absolutely fell in love with was her best friend, was Larissa's best friend. And Lexi, I think that's her name. She killed me the entire book. She was just hilarious. She was so real that she was what brought me through the little bits and pieces. And it wasn't that I hated Chris either. Larissa was getting on my nerves. So I don't even know where to begin. The beginning was fun. You could tell that her and Chris hit it off. Her and Chris had the exact same personality. They had the same hobbies, and they just hit it off and they became friends because Mike was a closed door alcoholic. And every time he would slip up, Chris would come and be the knight in shining armor, but he wouldn't play it off that way. He would just be like, oh, Mike is sick. Mike doesn't feel good. Mike has a migraine. I'm just here to help. Be the good guy. And so they just became friends, and they were all friends in this friend group. And it just annoyed me because obviously you're spending time with this person that you get along with, that you have the same hobbies and you also are attracted to. Of course you're going to catch feelings. And then he feels bad for catching feelings because it's his best friend's girl. And so he struggles with that on the inside, and we get to deal with all that inner monologue. And I'm just like, dude, you're making it worse by enabling your best friend and hiding all of his flaws to his girlfriend, who would have broke up with him forever ago if she had seen the true him. Wow. So that drove me insane. And then just the fact that she was like, oh, Mike's such a great guy. I don't know why I don't have the strong feelings towards him that I should have. Honey, he was a red flag to begin with. When you're 30 years old and you're living in your mom's guest house, behind your mom's house, just living on her property, and you don't have a job, you have a 10-hour a week part-time job at the gym, red flags. Why can't you see that right then and there? Red flags. And you're always sick with migraines. Red flags. Red flags. And maybe I just had zero patience for her because I didn't live the same story as Larissa, but I've been in a toxic relationship that was bad like that. And it just, love is blind. You don't see things, but what kills me is she didn't love him. And she made that so known from the very beginning that she didn't have feelings for him like she knew she should. And then you decide to move in with him, and the day you decide to move in with him, you find out that he's an alcoholic. Like, he's passed out drunk, peeing on himself, knocked out in his vomit. Like, that's when everything blows up. When you no longer have anywhere to go, you have no plans, and to top that off, her boss is her boyfriend's mom. So when they break up, his mom fires her. So then she really has nowhere to live or what to do. She can't even pay her bills. And so she moves in with Chris. And then they realize, they admit that they're in love with each other. They're so in love. And then they have to hide it from everyone because it's wrong. No, what's wrong is that they went on a camping cabin trip for the holidays for Christmas, and Mike gets tore up drunk. Larissa breaks it off because she realizes all of a sudden that he's an alcoholic and that he has problems. And then she breaks up with him. She's going to leave. She's going to leave the cabin, and she's going to go back, and she's going to get all her stuff, which she only lived with him for 24 hours. She's going to go pack all her stuff, and who knows? She has no plan. She doesn't know where she's going to go. And then he's so drunk. He assaults her by forcibly hugging her and kissing on her and begging her to stay with him. And then she has a nut allergy. Top that off, he's so drunk and plastered that he goes and he eats these macaroons that he bought her for Christmas, but he couldn't give them to her because they have nuts in them, and he's all blah, blah, blah. I am such a horrible boyfriend. And so Chris goes and saves him yet again, goes and gets him some Christmas presents on Christmas Eve, finds something that he knows she'll love and plays it off like he's the best boyfriend. Like, Chris, you are an insane enabler. Like, insane. So then she's about to go into anaphylactic shock and die possibly from this nut allergy because he forced himself on her, kissed her, and he ate some nutty cookies. Like, you can't make this story up. And so then they break up. She moves in with Chris, and all his friends group were like, you're wrong. How would you feel if if you move, someone did this to you and it was your girl, if you did that to my girl, then everyone would be mad at you. Like, you're all enabling Chris, or enabling Mike. And the only thing I could say, I could not stand Mike from the very beginning. And the only thing I can say is at the end of the book, I give kudos to Mike, because Mike was like, I was a bad friend, dude. I should have been there for you. Because, like, Chris has, like, issues too. Like, his mom died from alcoholism. Mike's like, I was a bad friend. I was a bad boyfriend. Y'all deserve each other. Y'all deserve to be happy. I want y'all to be happy. And I'll let everybody know. And, like, so it ends up being a happy ever after. But it was just, it was so painful to get there. I feel like. And maybe this would have been like a good read during the holidays. If you know what you're getting into, that it's like toxic, so toxic. I wanted it to be fun, and I don't know how you spin around a good time with girl and boyfriend's best friend get together. Like, I don't know. I guess maybe I would have, Mike was toxic anyway. In my head, things would have just been different, but it was an okay book. Not one of my favorites. I did give it 3.5 star rating because the story was okay. Like, it could have been better. I don't even know. I don't know. I don't want to be mean, because someone put their heart and soul into this book. And like I said, this book might be totally for you, for someone else, but it's not for me. I do want to give Abby Jimenez another shot. It was definitely heavy on the addiction side of things. And there was a quote, I wish I could find it, that my girl Lexi says. I'm trying to think. Like, even Chris was kind of wonky at times. Like, he would go and shovel snow at Larissa's house so that she could drive to work. And he wouldn't say anything. It was just like he would lay in bed at night and obsessively think about her and worry about her nut allergy. And maybe that's okay if you're together, but like he was just, there were times where I just laughed. I was like, that is the corniest thing I've ever heard. Let's show the enabling obsessiveness of Chris with Mike. Like, their relationship, their friendship was even toxic, but he was like, this is Chris saying, it wasn't my job to worry about her. It was his job. And this is how he did it. I don't know why he kept missing the broad strokes. And I was starting to not care what his problem was. I didn't want to judge my best friend or feel resentful toward him, but I was. I wanted him to be good enough for her. I wanted him to be here shoveling out her car. I wanted him to step up, and he just wasn't. I tried to guide him to make the right choices, help him to do what was best for her, remind him, make suggestions, do it myself, and let him take credit, because at the end of the day, all that really mattered was that Larissa was happy and safe, and that things were a little easier for her, but it was making me hate him. Like, dude, you're third wheeling it like heavy third wheeling. They end up going up on this trip, and Chris brings a girlfriend because he's like all of a sudden trying to get over Larissa, and Larissa like throws up in the car. She's so sick from the fact that he's bringing a woman with him. And I'm just like, girl, you should break up with Mike. This is so ridiculous. And of course, like, that's the like fun stuff when you're reading the book. Like, that's just toxic, and let's have more of it. I was eating all that up, I'm not gonna lie, but still. Okay, so Lexi says, it doesn't help that when we normalize this, she said, game day, drink, wedding, drink, mow the lawn with a beer, drink on the boat, drink at brunch. It's so expected he'd get crap for not drinking. And I just love that quote, because I do feel like in our society, drinking is just so casual. It's just so common. Most people drink. Most people have a glass of wine with dinner. Most people drink beer when they're watching football. So it is a very common thing. And I do feel like a lot of times that alcoholics are I guess you could say misrepresented, or like people don't realize they're alcoholics until like decades later. I think it is a taboo conversation. People don't talk about it. Drinking and driving. I mean, people people's lives get destroyed over alcohol. And it's one thing that's just, it's just not spoken about. I remember being in college and I had to do it's not really an essay. I was in public speaking, and I did a report on alcohol and drinking and driving, and like, because it had to, I can't remember details, but it had to be something, an opinionated thing. I can't remember, but I remember my professor getting, I feel like he was like kind of offended. He was like that he was like, I had to sway which way I was going to go for alcohol with the drinking and driving concept and not drinking. And he was like, I mean, I got an A on it, but even his comments were kind of like, that's a lot, really harsh kind of opinion. But until you live it, until you see it, until you see what alcohol does to a family, to a husband, to a father, to a mother who loses her child from drinking and driving, you don't know how harsh the reality is. And so I do think the author did great in that aspect of the alcoholism, of the addiction part, of people who live in it, who have an opinion about it, who, like Larissa, she was so hard on herself, so upset because she was like, I should have seen these signs. I lived it my entire life with my dad. But that's not always the case. So I do think she did a great job with that aspect. Would I've advertised this a little bit differently? And maybe it was advertised differently. I just didn't know. The cover, if we didn't have book talk, if we didn't have booktube, if we didn't have social media telling us about books like back in the day, you're just going to find this pretty little cover on this book in the library, in the bookstore, wherever you're at. And you're going to be like, ooh, fun summer romance. In my opinion, a romance, contemporary romance, not something with some heavy topics, which, yes, romance does have heavy topics, but this wasn't what I was expecting. Like I said, 3.5 stars. The 0.5 because the author did put in so much work, and I do think that it was a great story, great plot, great, well-rounded event of all the topics that she talked about. But I just did not like the characters. I did not like the love aspect, the romance aspect, which is what this book is about. And also, it was just not a beach read. And so, that's all I have for The Night We Met by Abby Jimenez.
Okay, so my daughter is napping. My husband is on vacation this week, and we're just doing like a staycation at home. So, and he's resting, and I'm trying to just be quiet, but I am currently reading Summer Fridays, and I am on page 75. And so it's just like, I'm just not starting. Okay, that's where we're at. But this is so much better than my first summer read book. I'm already excited about this book. It already gives me like summer vibes because it's literally in the summertime. And I'm really excited. This has already given me like Emily Henry feelings because I love her books. And I'm already feeling that way about this book. And so I'm super excited. And I absolutely love the cover of this book, y'all. It is so just pretty to me. The back's just like normal, but I just think it's such a pretty book. And I told my husband that if this ends up being a hit, I want this book for my bookshelf. So, because it's just so pretty. And so, yeah, that's really all I have to say right now. I'm gonna continue reading and I'll keep you all updated. Okay, guys, so I have finished Summer Fridays. You guys, I loved this book. This is the reason. It reminds me of why I love contemporary romance so much, because I've not been doing good. I've been having lots of misses here lately with contemporary romance. Sorry, I'm like moving stuff around. I've been having a lot of hits. Ugh, I've been having a lot of misses with contemporary romance here lately. Just nothing I've been really enjoying, nothing that's like consumes me like, yes, that's exactly what I want. And this gave me all the feelings like Emily Henry normally does. Now, I will say that this book is definitely messy. It definitely a messed up situation. You really need to go into it, I guess, knowing that. And I will, this video has spoilers, so I will go in like, so you're following an FMC at the beginning who's engaged, and long story short, it wraps up real quickly that like they met in college. They got engaged super fast. Like they're gonna have a wedding, engagement and wedding all within like a year. And so it wraps up real fast that she realizes that she thinks her fiance might be having an affair. And so she ends up discussing this with his coworker that she thinks is having an affair with her boyfriend. So they end up meeting up, and then it becomes like they end up meeting a lot on these summer Fridays, which in New York City, they get half days of work during the summer. Now, I don't know if this is like, if that's accurate or if that's just for this book, but I thought that was pretty cool and really cool if that does happen in New York City. But anyway, so long story short, she ends up having an affair of her own, and it's just messy. It's messy, but there was definite yearning for the couples if you can get past the whole. Now, here's the thing. Like, when I'm reading a book, I'm reading something that I know is fiction, that I know that obviously affairs happen in real life, and I'm not supporting that in any way. But I did enjoy this book. I enjoyed the story. I enjoyed the author's writing. She is a very descriptive writer. She was really good at, it was really easy to imagine the places that this couple would go, the things that they were doing. I could really envision it in my head. She was a very descriptive, beautiful writer. The story flowed very well. It was really fun to read this, and this storyline was based in 1999, so it was really fun because I was born in 96, so I don't remember the 90s, and it was really fun to be in that world where there weren't cell phones and there was literally dial up, and you had chat on a computer screen. So that's what they did, and it was so nostalgic. I enjoyed the atmosphere, the plot, the setting of this story. It was definitely beautiful. The ending was amazing. I thought the ending, like I said, I kept thinking like, how is this going to play out? This is so messy. And I kept thinking in my head like, I really hope she's not just going to leave her fiance and then end up with him. Like, because like I said, like, you're having an affair. How are you going to make this feel like it's appealing and pleasing at the end? And I think she did a very good job of that, because she did end up finding out that her fiance was having an affair, so that was true. And then they ended up calling off the wedding, and she ended up just being single and being by herself for 2 years. And then she runs back into Nick, the MMC that she had the affair with, and they end up catching up, and neither of them are in a relationship. And then, it just ends with them being able to actually be together. So, like I said, it was messy, but I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the story. I thought it was beautiful, and I highly recommend this. It was definitely a fun beach read, beach vibes, and I gave this 5 stars. So definitely better than the first book. And that's all I have to say. And I'm gonna start another beach read. I have no idea which one I'm doing next, but I will keep you all in the loop and let you know. Okay, everyone. Okay, so it's been a little while since I've done a update. Last time we chatted, we talked a little bit about Summer Fridays, and then I wonder if you can hear my daughter trying to break her way through into my room. I guess I'm gonna go let her in. I'll be back. Okay, you can't see her, but you can hear her. So just for the update on that. So anyway, update, Summer Fridays. That's the last time we had a reading update. My husband has been off of work for the week. We had a staycation at home, and so that kind of made it hard for me to keep everyone updated on what I was reading. But I finished Happy Place by Emily Henry, and I read it on my Kindle. And let me just say, I will never just go off of a book by someone else's review on Goodreads, even if the Goodreads like 3.8 or something, say, a rating on Goodreads. That's never scared me away from a book, but when I see that, I'm like, ooh, if it doesn't have 4 stars, then I'm a little nervous. But I'll still read a book, even if the Goodreads stars are not as great as I would want them to be, because sometimes I'll love a book and like people just will hate on that book, and I'm just like, but I loved it. So it's totally not, that's not the issue. But I'll never just go off of a Goodreads review rating score, like a total score. And also, there were so many people that I absolutely love their YouTube channels, their booktube channels, their recommendations on books, all the things. And so I've always heard iffy things about Happy Place. Well, so I went into it thinking that I wasn't going to like it, that it was going to drag, and it was going to take me a little while to get into it and to read it. So that's why when I started Happy Place while my husband's been on vacation, I was thinking then like, oh, I'll start this halfway and then be able to update y'all and do some reading vlogs while I read. Well, that didn't happen because I absolutely loved this book. Loved the story, loved the writing. I love anything and everything that Emily Henry writes. And there's only one book that I have not read by her, which is the Big Beautiful
Great Big Beautiful Life or something like that. I think that's what it's called. It's like a red book, I think. But I know that has mixed reviews, and I'm already ready to go read that because I give this a 5-star rating. I have rated all of her books 5 stars. I've loved them all. So I say all that to say that I was very, very happy with the book. Where is my Kindle? There were some notes I was going to discuss. Let me find my Kindle. I needed to do another video after I do this update, but I don't know how that's going to happen with my daughter. She was supposed to take a nap while I did this. We shall see. Trying to find my annotations. But for those who have not read Happy Place and they do not know what Happy Place is about, there's probably going to be spoilers. But I will say that we are following an FMC and an MMC that were already together, already fallen in love, and they were engaged. And when we, as the reader, go into the book, we start with the FMC, and she's going to meet, they all have a group of friends. There's like 6 of them. I, for one, loved the found family, loved the friendships in this story. Like, all of it was so beautiful. And then I was just going through just a random search. I don't even know how I ended up looking it up. I have not watched the movie, The People We Meet on Vacation, that's on Netflix. Because I do not have Netflix. So I need to, I was telling my husband how I really want to watch that movie. So we're going to do like some cute little date kind of thing at the house and eventually watch that movie on Netflix. But I have not watched it yet. And I was just looking it up and noticed that she's literally, all of her movies are turning into adaptations. So all of her books. So I'm super excited. And I might do a video talking about Emily Henry and all of her books. I think my favorite Emily Henry book is either People We Meet on Vacation or Funny Story. I loved Funny Story. Funny Story was so good. But anyway, I never read Happy Place because I just had always felt like people had just had a hard time liking the book, and so it just didn't intrigue me. And even the synopsis, I was just not intrigued by it. But I'm so glad that I started this channel, and it's just like it made me read it because I pulled it from the jar for summer reading. And so it just knew that I needed to read this book because it was so beautiful. The story was so beautiful. It was like a second chance romance. They had already been together, and you kind of went back and forth. So you got to experience how they fell in love, their story, and then why everything fell apart. And then you got to watch them still be in love, and there was still longing and angst and yearning for each other. And it was a beautiful story. But you're following the FMC and the MMC right at the beginning. They're no longer together. They haven't told their friends. They're going on one last vacation in this cabin, or I don't think it's a cabin, but it's like this house that they all hung out and spent all their time through college and just in life. And the house is selling. So they're doing one last hurrah, and their best friends are getting married. And so now they can't ruin the week and tell their friends that they're not together. And so they have to fake it that they're still together. And of course, that makes everything harder because our FMC thinks that our MMC just walked away and she's still in love with him. And so it was just so good. That was my daughter playing with a cardboard box. So this was just a quote that I really liked, but it was, love means constantly saying you're sorry and then doing better. Like, there was a lot of stuff in this book that really made me feel like real life. It can really connect with more than just me, but it really connected with me on a lot of different levels. Another quote, your job doesn't have to be your identity. It can just be a place you go. And I feel like that That's so good because I do feel like in my generation in school and at the age I graduated in 2015, and I just feel like college was pushed. I never knew what I wanted to do in my life, and I felt like something was wrong with me because all my friends knew what they wanted to do, or they were going to be teachers, or they were going to be doctors, and it doesn't always have to be cut and dry in life. Life is not like that. It says your job doesn't have to be your identity. It can just be a place you go. That doesn't define you or make you miserable. You deserve to be happy, Harriet. That's the FMC. He brushes a strand of hair away from the curve of my jaw. Everything's better when you're happy. When was just so great. Let's see. Another quote, want is a kind of thief. It's a door in your heart, and once you know it's there, you'll spend your life longing for whatever's behind it. Talking about yearning for Win, her ex-fiance. So this quote is about her ex-fiance at the time, his mom and his dad. His dad dies, and that's one of the things that spiral into their breakup. And she's talking about his mom and her grief. And this is what she said. I understood then the immense honor it is to hurt like she does, to have loved someone so much that the taste of maple syrup can make you cry and laugh at the same time. And I know if nothing else, I'll have that. I know I've chosen the right universe. And there's a quote, and I don't have it on here, but it was cute. But Win and her talking about, like, would they have been together in alternate universes? And he says something to the lines of, in each universe, I might not be for you, but in every universe, you'll always be for me. And it was just their love. It was so beautiful. I can't believe people that didn't like this book. 5 stars. I absolutely love this book. A world in which not only can you fall for your partner again and again, but two people can find their way back from the brink, where lovers learn from their mistakes and have the chance to do better a second time around. So that's basically what the book was about. So it was just really beautiful. Honestly, it had me thinking, reading Happy Place and the way it made me feel, and like the love of these characters. I almost think I want to give Summer Fridays a 4.5 because of the cheating trope, which I still like the characters. I still like the story of Summer Fridays. And I do not advocate for cheating, and I would not pick up a book specifically that's what that's about, like having an affair or something. When I read the book, the synopsis really wasn't like cut and dry on what the book was going to be about. I still enjoyed that book, but just because of the cheating trope aspect and because of how beautiful Happy Place in the story was, and they were engaged and then they broke up and then they got back together, I think I'm going to end up giving Summer Fridays a 4.5 and then 5-star to Happy Place. That's all I have to say about this and Happy Place. I still have 2 more books to read. I'm hoping to get, I don't even know what it's called, but there's a book that I want to read that I'm still waiting for. at the library. So I'm hoping to get it. But if not, then the last book's going to be Paradise something. I think I have. You might can hear my kids screaming. The Paradise Problem by Christina Lauren. I still have to read it. That's going to be read on my Kindle. And then Every Summer After by Carly Fortune. I do not want to pay for a book that I do not know if I'm going to end up liking or not. So that book is at the library on hold, and I'm just in a line waiting. But if I end up having to cut it short and not read that book for this reading vlog, then The Paradise Problem is going to be the last one. So we'll see how that pans out in the next 2 weeks. I'll give it 2 weeks. So anyway, that's it for now. So I'll see you a little bit when I start reading The Paradise Problem. So it was totally supposed to be like an aesthetic. And it turned into a flop, but I'm probably going to leave it in the video. So, because this is real life. Not all aesthetics. So anyway, we are finally, I've totally been procrastinating all day. So, sorry, I'm like trying to put my phone on the charger. We're about to start the last book. So this is, okay, typically time read 7 hours and 20 minutes, 367 pages. Great, not too bad. So we're going to do The Paradise Problem by Christina Lauren. I am excited. So yes, we were supposed to do 5 books, but that is not happening because the 5th book, the summer something, I don't even know, but that book is forever on a waiting list. I'm not waiting. Like, I want to get this reading vlog done before my kids go back to school next week, and I'm hoping to get this book done in 2 days. I have been in a serious reading funk because the books I'm reading have just not been good. Not bad, but they've just been meh. They've been meh. And I have just been putting this off because I've been trying to get these books done that I've been reading. And reading should be fun. And reading is fun. But there are some books that I just want to read and get through. But anyway, I have been meaning to read this all day. Have not picked it up. And now I'm like, okay, I'm going to do it. So you're going to watch me read for a little while. We're going to see how much I can get done in about an hour, I guess. Probably not a lot, since this book says it takes 7 hours to complete. I could read this in a day, a sitting, if it was possible, but that's just not happening. So I will update y'all on my last book for this reading vlog. So I'm literally in the prologue, and I'm pretty sure that Christina Lauren is like super popular. I'm talking and moving the little camera at the same time. Pretty sure Christina Lauren is like super popular. So I just can't. The prologue, it says, I think, oh wait, okay. So with that intense eye contact still happening, West walks over and stops barely a foot away. For a weird, fevered beat, I wonder if he's actually going to kiss me goodbye. Sorry, I thought my phone was moving. I think I'm all set here, he says. And LOL, of course he isn't going to kiss me. I don't know. Why I put LOL in there? But if I forgot anything, you can have Jake come pick it up. I mean, I guess. We'll see. We'll see how this goes. So, that's just an update. Okay, so another thing that I'm being a little picky, I feel like right now, but it's just the reading mood that I'm in. But I'm kind of annoyed that like Instagram and TikTok is being talked about right now. This is a contemporary romance, so I guess that just comes with the territory sometimes. But I hope that this gets better.
I don't know. I can't decide. I'm just not in the mood for a contemporary romance. And I should have probably thought, sorry, my babies, I'm climbing. I probably should have thought this through, but I'm going to try to get through this. I'm going to push through this because I think this is a good book, a good romance. So for the reading vlog, I will update you all. I'm doing a reading vlog.
I thought you were doing a video.
Mm-hmm.
You were doing a video?
Yes, of me reading.
Can I be in it?
I mean, you can, but your face will get blurred out. You can come lay beside me.
Why's my face gonna be blurred out?
Not right now, but when I edit.
Oh no! Don't blame me out.
You can't be on YouTube yet. You're not. Because you're too young.
Don't tell your friends.
You guys, I just can't. She's talking about plasma donation to make extra money. Oh. I'm just in the mood for fantasy, not for this. Okay. Carry on. Okay, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this. She says, I stare up at him expectantly but get distracted by his hotness. He looks great. I mean, 3 years have passed. 3? I think 3. And he looks like a real man. I realized he was a man then, but this is like a manly man, a professional man, a man who does not get high at 10 a.m. and eats cereal out of a mixing bowl. Okay, that's all I have to say. So, update. I'm in my boys' bedroom because we're about to get ready for bed. But I wanted to update. I am on 17% and I have decided that I like the book. So it's been quite hilarious. The Anna character is very, very funny. So I'm like holding my phone. I hope it's not like too shaky and annoying. But anyway, I don't know. I just want to I'm just laughing out loud. So I'm at the part, they're on the airplane. They're fake date, like fake marriage. I think we've discussed this. So the MMC has to get an inheritance. And for him to get the inheritance, he has to be married for 5 years. And so they're coming up on the 5-year mark, but his parents want him and his wife, which is the FMC, to come to a family private wedding. So now they have to fake being married all this time, and he's literally paid for like a makeover and trying to because the FMC had no idea. Like, he just showed up at her door like 3 years after they went separate ways, and he's like, hey, we're still married and I need you to pretend to be my wife. And so they're on the airplane and he gives her a ring, and so she kills me. It says she creaks the box open and then immediately snaps it shut, dropping it on the console between us as if it burned her. I can't wear that, she says, voice shaking. Why not? That diamond is like the size of my nipple. I died laughing. I find myself fighting a laugh. It was just so hilarious. Oh, sorry, my nose is stuffy. Like, so they had to sign papers to their agreement, so she gets a big chunk of cash after they do this fake marriage thing, and she had to sign papers, and in the paper it's like the first paper she has to sign is like a do not disclose sign, like signature, like not telling anyone about any of this. And she had already told her best friend, she was like, well, she doesn't count, like I've already told her, so she's just included in this clause. I'm like, okay. She's just like this vibrant, ditzy, hilarious artist with bubblegum pink hair, so that's cool. Anyway, I am having fun. It's definitely worn on me. Is that the word? But I'm enjoying it, so I'm gonna continue reading, and I will update you guys in a little bit. All right, you guys. Good morning. I have a little visitor with me while we do this wrap up. So let's see, where are we? I have officially finished. Do you see the doggies outside? Sorry, she's like hitting on my window. So I've officially finished The Paradise Problem. I think that's what the book was called, by Christina Lauren. I had a really fun time. It took me a minute because I just was not in the mood, the mindset for a contemporary romance. So it did take me a minute to get into it, but that was on me. That wasn't really the book. It only took I think by 17%, I was like, oh, this is so funny and fun. It was very fast paced. I enjoyed the FMC and the MMC. I enjoyed everything about the book. It was hilarious. It was a hilarious read. I will definitely pick up more of Christina Lauren's books. The only thing that I did not like, which like I said, I have not read any of her other books, so I do not know if all of her books are like this, but I was not the biggest fan of the references of today's stuff, like TikTok, Instagram, the influencer vibes and all that stuff. So some of the stuff that was said was kind of cheesy, corny to me, was a turn off. So I do give this a 4-star rating. So yeah, I guess that's really it. I am not going to read, what is it? The Last Summer We Met, something like that. I'm failing you guys really bad because I don't even remember. Every Summer After, totally failed that title. Every Summer After by Carly Fortune. If I had gotten that book earlier, I was on a waiting list at the library. If I would have gotten it sooner and I could have read it, I would be completely done with the reading vlog and had been able to read all 5 of the books. But that just is not how it happened. I have learned for my next reading vlog I've learned some things about my future reading vlogs. For one, I'm probably not going to tell you guys specifically what I'm reading, just in case I decide I don't want to read it, and 5 books is a lot. So if I'm going to do 5 books, then I'm definitely going to do them more closer together, not within a month, 2 months, a season. It's just been a lot trying to read. Hold on. My dog wants to come inside and she's whining. So I will be right back. I have returned. Anyway. I don't even remember exactly what I was saying. So anyway, yeah, I have learned some things about doing reading vlogs and doing them closer together. Oh, I know what I was talking about. I was trying so hard to keep up with my TBR. Sorry, my daughter's behind me hitting oh, you can kind of see her little head. I don't care. That's fine. And that's my other daughter. So we have some interruptions, but that's part of the fun in the reading vlog and how I really want to portray myself as a mom of 4 and a reader that if you are a reader, you can do it even with children. It is possible, especially if you prioritize well. And sometimes I don't prioritize well, and so reading is kind of gets pushed back sometimes. But anyway, that's life. My point being that I was just so overwhelmed trying to do my TBR, trying to do this, trying to do all kinds of different things that I have started, projects that I've started. And so I have learned next time that I probably will not give specific books that I want to read, even though it was fun. The TBR jar, picking my books was fun. If I ever do in the future a TBR jar picks my reads for my reading vlog, I will only do 3 books. I will not do 5. I will say that much. Will I ever do 5 books again? Maybe, but I probably won't tell you guys, so that when I do the reading vlog, it'll just be a happy surprise. Or if I decide I don't want to do 5 and I just do 4, like this one, and I'm having to tell y'all like, oh, I'm just not going to read that book. So anyway, we are finishing. Yeah. Yeah, you going to go play? Yes. I know. So we are finishing this reading vlog right now, wrapping it up. My little puff. Wrapping it up. Hi. There's a lot going on in this little catch up. I'm officially done with my first reading vlog. Okay? Applause for that. Hold for applause. I hope that I make this all come out grand. Obviously, I'm new at this. I'll get better at it. I'll add new things. I'll do different things. But I'm hoping that when I go to edit and I do all of this, that it turns out decent. But anyway, so with all of that being said, I'm about to go jump in the shower. We're about to we just had breakfast. It is our last Friday before school starts. We had school orientation yesterday. School starts Monday. So my goal is to have this reading vlog up. I want to say Tuesday, but it might be Thursday. We shall see, but it will be the week they go back to school. So, and it'll still be summer and miserably hot where I am, but it'll still have all the summer vibes, and I'm excited to see what it all looks like. So that's that. I do still have to do an intro to this reading vlog. So I guess I'm going to do that after I get out of the shower and we start our day. So I love you guys. If you like videos like this, reading vlogs like this, or similar, since it is my first, so bear with me, but then give it a thumbs up. Comment down below any of the fun summer beach reads that you read this summer, and subscribe to my channel. Hit that notification bell so you'll know every time I post, and I look forward to seeing you all in my next one. I love you guys. Bye.